I'm here to present to you Buildpals, an e-tendering platform for the African construction industry. My name is Alfred, Adusah, and I'm a certified construction manager, and I've been involved in the construction industry for the past 5 years. Now, there was a process that really disturbed us, not only me, but other stakeholders in the industry. It was a tendering process. Now, tendering is simply the process whereby project owners find good contractors and submit them, invite them to submit their bids and procure them. It's in 3 main steps, which starts with the discovery process, where they find these quality contractors, the bidding process, which is mainly an exchange of paperwork to know the prices and quotations that they will do the job for, and the selection process, whereby the project owner just goes through the bids and selects the best quotes. Now, the discovery process is very costly and time consuming. It can take you up to 3 weeks to find a good contractor and cost you up to $2,000 to place ads in the papers. And also, the bidding process is heavily paper-based, and it requires the physical presence of the contractor to actually make something happen. For example, this is a typical tender document. The project owner prepares this, and then he picks it up, and then he fills it and submits it. Are we doing construction or we are marking scripts? We bring you Buildpals, an online platform that allows project owners to find and procure contractors for their platforms. With our products, we promise project owners that it can take them within 24 hours to find a good contractor, and the entire process is paperless and online. That means that contractors can bid on the project wherever they are. Now, the construction industry in Africa is worth $188 billion. Globally, construction spends 1.1% in construction, which means that the software market for the construction industry in Africa was supposed to be worth about 2.06 billion. But currently, because the market is underserved, it stands at 1.08 billion, which leaves a gap of 982 million, and this is the gap Buildpals will fill. Now, when you come into the market, there are different platforms that are trying to solve this process. We have enterprise software, we have listing platforms, but we have taken the marketplace model because of the unique set of problems we are solving. And we have positioned ourselves as a B2B solution, and we carefully curate both the project owners and the contractors that come onto our platform. Our competitors have played themselves differently, some of them serving the business to consumer segments, and others operating an open platform where anybody at all can just come and put a project or place a job. But currently, we are the only solution that is actively targeting the African market. And clearly, as you can see, we have differentiated what we do and the market that we are targeting. Now, this, even though we are bringing much value to the project owner, it is entirely free for them to use. But we charge the contractor $20 subscription monthly, and also charge them on every bid that they want to partake in, depending on the size of the project. We chose this model because we want to prevent leakage. And in the construction industry, the project owner controls everything. What the project owner says is what the contractor does. Now, we released our MVP into the market 2 weeks ago, and we've had 15 construction companies sign up, including Buildpals, a subcontractor company that was very helpful in the building of the Kumasi Mall, which is the biggest mall, one of the biggest malls in the country. The Simone Construction Group, which actually does over $100 million in revenue annually, and Kaiser, a German finishing company that recently came into the market and wants to have market domination. And then we had one project that had been uploaded onto our site worth $110,000. Despite this positive adaptation, we are going to focus the next 6 months on building the product, because the construction industry is a very conservative space, and if you take software to them, you have to make sure it works, otherwise they don't give you a second chance. So we are going to work closely with this just a handful of customers to improve our product, and then go to market by next year, March 2018. Now, we believe that our product, 6 months time down the line, with just a user base of 125 contractors and 10 projects a month, we can be cash flow positive, making a monthly recurring revenue of $5,200. And this is just the beginning, considering the fact that Ghana alone has over 3,000 registered contractors and over 100 projects that start monthly in Accra alone, according to the municipal assemblies. Therefore, to execute this, we are raising a seed round of $45,000 for a 12-month runway towards when we break even, and this would majority of this money would go into the product development, the business operations, and then the marketing and acquisition. Now, Alfred, Adusah, a construction guru, has teamed up with some of the best developers the continent can offer. With Peter O'Hara, who won the prestigious MTN Apps Challenge this year, and then Meltwater, Chief Product Officer, who was part of the team that built and maintained the entire online bidding platform for Ammonia.com.
Hi everyone. Hi Peter. So when a contractor comes onto the Buildpals platform, they upload their company profile, which includes their general information, locations where they are based, the types of work that they offer, the equipment they have on hand at any particular point in time, as well as key personnel that they work with. They also upload the previous project that they've done in order for anyone who's looking for them to be able to establish a track record. So when a project owner comes with a job, they put in the specifications of the job in this form, specifying the kind of contractor they are looking for, the budget for the work they're doing, as well as the description. Immediately they create this, an SMS is sent out to all contractors on the platform that fit the specification. The SMS has a link to this page where they can read about the job and decide whether they are interested or not interested in the project. If they are interested, they click this button, and a link to their profile is sent to the project owner so that you can view their profile and decide to invite them to bid or not. Now, this process previously used to take up to 3 weeks and could cost up to $2,000 in ads. But with Buildpals, just a few clicks between the project owner and the contractor. So next, the project owner would actually upload the full job document so the contractor can see, as well as set a deadline by which all the contractors who he has invited to bid on the platform would have to submit their tender. All the contractors will then receive a link to where they can upload their tender. The tender consists of the bid price they have, as well as the bill of quantities explaining how they arrived at that tender. They submit this, and the project owner can then see this. He can download and view the document with all the details. And if he finds everything okay with it and the bid price going up, he can award the tender to the contractor or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first step into achieving a world where a project owner can finish an entire construction project without leaving their PC. Thank you.